New information and updated stories. K2 News at 11 on your side.
I'm Dan Harris, and this is World News. Tonight, pomp and protest. President Obama plunging directly into the abortion debate.
It's all right.
Facing down hecklers at Notre Dame and telling graduates that both sides in the abortion battle need to tone down the rhetoric. The recession diet, getting fat in lean times. New evidence tonight that the bad economy is bad for your health. The lady is a champ. What might be the biggest victory of girls over boys in sports history. And riding high, the guy who flies tied to a bunch of balloons.
People are really totally amazed by it, either because they think it is pretty to look at or because they think I am really stupid to do it.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is World News.
Good evening. Today, President Obama walked right into the heart of the abortion debate and essentially told both sides to lower the volume. The scene was Notre Dame, a Catholic university where many people were outraged at the notion of honoring a president who supports abortion rights. As the president was speaking, hecklers were hauled out of the auditorium and dozens of protesters were arrested outside. ABC's John Hendren is there tonight.
Outside the gates of Notre Dame, the heated protest raged on.
Abortion is right!
Inside, President Obama arrived to cheers.
The President of the United States.
And did his persuasive best to turn down the temperature.
Maybe we won't agree on abortion, but we can still agree that this heart-wrenching decision for any woman is not made casually. It has both moral and spiritual dimensions.
He accepted a controversial honorary degree, joking about being denied one last week at Arizona State.
So far, I'm only 1 for 2 as president.
And pleaded for common ground.
So let us work together to reduce the number of women seeking abortions. Let's reduce unintended pregnancies. Let's make adoption more available. Let's provide care and support for women who do carry their children to term.
It didn't matter to many conservative Catholics what he said. His support for abortion rights made him unqualified to be here today. There were hecklers, soon drowned out by students chanting, "We are ND." Some boycotted. Some came wearing signs of silent protest, others signs of praise. But few of the Fighting Irish joined the protesters outside, mostly outsiders, led here by former presidential candidate Alan Keyes, fresh out of jail, and Operation Rescue founder Randall Terry. The president of Notre Dame praised Obama for not ducking the controversy.
President Obama is not someone who stops talking to those who differ with him.
It was a rare chance, Dan, for abortion opponents to seize the national stage, and they did, but it won't be their last. Abortion will be front and center this fall as President Obama picks a new justice for the Supreme Court. Dan?
Thank you, John Hendren, in South Bend, Indiana tonight. The divide we saw at Notre Dame today, a standing ovation for the president inside, angry protesters outside, mirrors a debate taking place across the Catholic community. Our David Wright has that part of the story.
Today, the president sought common ground with Catholics, even though he supports abortion rights. And that message clearly resonates with many in the church.
I wish Obama's views on abortion were different than they are. But nothing convinces me that he isn't a morally serious, sensitive person.
Still, conservative Catholics don't like him, and they're not shy about speaking their minds.
You cannot say that I'm interested in social justice and soup kitchens and the like and health care and at the same time be pro-abortion. He's got a real problem in the Catholic community.
Oh, my Jesus, forgive us our sins.
Abortion isn't the only issue the conservatives object to. There's also Obama's support for embryonic stem cell research and a liberal approach to gay rights.
I've never in my 16 years in doing this job have I ever seen the bishops collectively become as energized as they have been.
There are even elements within the Catholic community that do not want to see his presidency succeed. So, you know, that's tragic.
Catholics are not a monolithic voting bloc. Despite church teachings, Catholic voters have long supported abortion rights, stem cell research, and the death penalty in the same proportions as all Americans. And 54% of them voted for Obama last November.
The majority of Catholics are on Obama's side.
You may not have seen so today at Notre Dame.
Abortion is murder!
You don't always find out what a group is thinking by listening to the noisiest members.
But even there, Obama had plenty of friends.
How inspired I am by the maturity and responsibility with which this class has approached the debate surrounding today's ceremony.
David Wright, ABC News, Washington.
And tomorrow, President Obama is going to wade into another hugely contentious issue, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He's going to have a meeting at the White House with Israel's new Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. Obama will push Netanyahu to negotiate with Palestinian leaders and to stop building settlements in disputed areas. Netanyahu has so far refused to embrace the idea of a separate Palestinian state. GQ magazine is reporting that the former Defense Secretary, Donald Rumsfeld, juxtaposed images of war with biblical quotations on the covers of intelligence briefings prepared for President Bush after the invasion of Iraq. For example, an April 3rd, 2003 cover quoted from Proverbs, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed." GQ reports that at least one Muslim analyst at the Pentagon was offended and others worried about possible outrage in Muslim countries. Overseas tonight, a quarter century of bloody civil war may finally be over in Sri Lanka. People there were celebrating today after the rebel group, the Tamil Tigers, admitted defeat. The fighting has killed tens of thousands of people over the years, many of them civilians, but rebel leaders are still at large tonight, so the violence there could flare up again. A senior official in Pakistan today indicated that the fighting there will not be stopping anytime soon. The official says the government offensive against Taliban fighters in the strategically important Swat Valley, which is in the northern part of Pakistan, has killed more than 1,000 suspected insurgents. And he said the crackdown will continue, quote, until the last Taliban are flushed out. Up in space tonight, this has been a long day for the astronauts trying to repair the Hubble telescope. They ventured outside of the shuttle Atlantis for their fourth spacewalk of this mission. It was one of the longest in history and very tricky. Ned Potter has the story.
The Hubble telescope has lasted for 19 years now because it was designed with parts that astronauts could replace on spacewalks.
Atlantis is just passing off the southeastern coast of Florida.
Not today. A key instrument had lost power, and NASA decided that instead of replacing the whole thing, they would have the astronauts fix it by hand.
Yeah, I can see it. It's pretty beat up.
The job fell to spacewalker Mike Massimino, who had his work cut out for him. He had to remove 111 screws, most of them the size of this one sent us by NASA.
It is a repair activity that was not meant to be fixed, up in space with boxing gloves or big, huge gloves in a big marshmallow suit.
Even with special power tools, Massimino and crewmate Mike Good fell 3 hours behind. At one point, Houston sent him back to the shuttle's airlock to refill the oxygen in his backpack.
How are you guys doing inside of the spaceship?
It's a real nail biter, buddy.
In the end, it was. Putting off other work till tomorrow, they wrapped up after 8 grueling hours. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
Health news tonight. One day after announcing its first case of swine flu, Japan today announced a surge of new cases, bringing the total there to nearly 78. Nearly 8,500 people have been infected across the world. 75 have died, mostly in Mexico. And here in New York City, officials ordered 5 more schools closed tomorrow for a total of 11. Next, a victory that horse racing fans are going to be talking about for years. It happened at the Preakness, the second leg of the Triple Crown. A filly named Rachel Alexandra whipped her male competition, becoming the first female horse to win the Preakness in 85 years. Here's Stephanie Sy.
Rachel Alexander returned home to Louisville a star today. At the Preakness, the 3-year-old filly, the only female in the race, showed the boys who was boss. She took an early lead at the starting gate, stayed strong at the turns, and fended off a last-minute challenge from the Kentucky Derby winner, My Matt Bird.
A magnificent victory, an exquisite filly.
That's despite starting in position number 13, the outermost spot on the track. No horse has ever won the Preakness from that spot.
It's great for horse racing. She's a great filly. My colt's a super colt. He won the Derby, come back and run second here.
The winning jockey, Calvin Burrell, who made the controversial decision to ride the filly instead of the Derby champion, has no regrets.
I've been in the business 30 years, and I know my horses, sir, and I knew she was most probably the best horse I've ever been on in my life.
Super filly, you bet!
The filly's previous owners didn't believe in racing her against colts. She proved them wrong.
You can make a very strong case that this victory by Rachel Alexandra is the most significant victory by a girl against the boys in the history of sports.
The filly has won the hearts of women around the country, both in and out of racing. She even has her own Facebook fan page. On the track, she's all strength and speed, and with her braided mane, sheer girl power. Now the big question is whether Rachel Alexandra will race in the Belmont Stakes in 3 weeks and have a rematch against Mind That Bird. Stephanie Tsai, ABC News, Baltimore, Maryland.
And coming up here on World News this Sunday, the high personal cost of cutting back, how choosing the dollar menu and skipping the dentist could end up costing you more in the long run. On the trail of serial killers who use the highways to stalk their prey. And a guy who flies carried only by a bouquet of balloons.
This is World News, brought to you by Edward Jones.
So what else? Your 401k. Still over at your old job. I guess I've been avoiding dealing with it. Yeah, I get it, but do you really want your retirement money sitting over there? I know. I guess the thought of dealing with those people... Listen, I'll do the legwork. It's easy to roll it over. I've got some ideas for it, too. Well, let's hear them.
Nearly 7 million investors already know the value of real attention at Edward Jones.
I need pain relief that won't mess with my grip.
The new Icy Hot No Mess Applicator. Massages in long-lasting relief for shoulders, knees, backs, even arthritis. Icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away. Icy Hot No Mess Applicator.
No pain, no mess.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Here's a plan for America's broadband users to save $16 billion a year and $300 individually. Switch to Net Zero dial-up at $9.95 per month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or go to netzero.com.
People we rely on in the morning can rely on Dulcolax laxative tablets overnight. They give you predictable overnight relief to help get you feeling like yourself again in the morning. Dulcolax laxative tablets keep you moving.
Are you and your gray hair facing an identity crisis?
My hair says experience. My hair says energy.
Touch of Gray. The best of both combs away a little gray, never too much, just right.
Now I look like I know what I'm doing and can still do it.
Touch of Gray.
While I was building my friendships, my family, while I was building my life, my high cholesterol was contributing to plaque buildup in my arteries. That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor. She said plaque buildup in arteries is a real reason to lower cholesterol, and that along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol. It raises good. Crestor is also proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you are taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. While you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Find out more about slowing the buildup of plaque at Crestor.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
There is new proof tonight, as if we needed it, that the bad economy is bad for your health. A new survey says Americans are eating worse and cutting back on their health care as a way to save money. As ABC's Lisa Stark reports, these could turn out to be costly choices.
The slumping economy isn't just affecting America's financial health, it's taking a toll on physical health as well. The new survey from the American Heart Association found nearly a third of consumers are cutting back on everything from doctor visits to fresh fruits and vegetables.
We don't want simple things like physical activity, good diet, stress reduction
things like that to become a victim of the economy.
Some families we spoke with today say they have reduced healthy habits like going to the gym because of the economy.
We had the family membership and then we canceled that and just put me on there.
Fatima Sanders admits she can't always afford the best food for her children.
She can't even get a sandwich. You know, she has to get the chips for 75 cents.
Tammy Bryan says she's working hard not to scrimp on medical care for her kids.
We're not going to not take them to the doctor if they're sick, and we'll cut other places if we need to.
Overall, health experts say a poor economy often translates into poor health.
If you don't have enough money to eat well, to take care of your health, to live in a comfortable and relatively stress-free life, your health is going to be at risk.
But there are things you can do that won't cost a fortune. Can't afford the health club? Get exercise by walking, gardening, even doing housework. And the health news isn't all bad in this downturn. People are buying fewer cigarettes, and fewer families are eating out. Home-cooked meals tend to be healthier. Even so, the warning tonight, don't put your health on hold. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
As Lisa just mentioned, Americans are cutting back on cigarettes. Calls to quit helplines are off the charts. But just as more people are making that call, it is becoming more likely that no one will be there to answer it. Here's Neil Karlinski.
You're watching a pack-a-day smoker with a 20-year habit on the phone with a coach, a quit coach from a smoking hotline.
Okay. Have you ever used the patches in the past?
I did, and I was able to quit for like 15 days. So that's
perfect.
Her name is Birdie Sharp, and she is well aware that she has a habit that could kill her. But it's not worries about her health that drove her to enroll with a quit coach. She says President Obama drove her to it when he raised cigarette taxes 62 cents a pack, the biggest federal tax increase ever.
$8.02 a day. It adds up real quick.
She's not alone. On the day the new tax kicked in last month, calls to this help center in Seattle jumped an astonishing 522%. Healthcare groups see that as a good thing, or at least they would, if not for one big problem. The recession has put state budgets under so much pressure that quitline resources are being cut just as demand peaks. In Washington state, for example, legislators passed a 43% funding cut for tobacco control and treatment. Is it your view, then, that these budget cuts will result in people continuing to smoke?
You know, I hope that's not the case, but I would say that's probably the reality.
Smokers who want to quit know this much. Budget cuts or not, they need all the help they can get. Birdie Sharp doesn't like the tax, but she likes her coach and hopes the hotline will be around long enough for her to get off cigarettes for good. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Seattle.
And coming up, there's new evidence that there may be dozens of serial killers using the country's highways to cover their tracks.
For many with arthritis pain, not treating is not an option. All prescription NSAID pain relievers like Celebrex, ibuprofen, and naproxen help treat arthritis pain and have some of the same warnings. But since individual results may vary, having options is important. Prescription Celebrex has been the option for millions of patients for 10 straight years. Just one 200 milligram Celebrex can provide dependable 24-hour relief for many with arthritis pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Based on the available data, the FDA stated that for certain patients, Celebrex's benefits outweigh the risks. If you're worried about stomach upset, you should know. In clinical studies, a lower percentage of patients taking Celebrex reported stomach discomfort versus prescription ibuprofen and naproxen. And if you are taking low-dose aspirin for your heart and need an NSAID pain reliever, Celebrex can be used because it doesn't interfere with the effects of low-dose aspirin. But when it comes to relieving your arthritis pain, you and your doctor need to balance the benefits with the risks. The FDA requires all prescription NSAIDs, including Celebrex, ibuprofen, naproxen, and meloxicam, to have the same cardiovascular warning. They all may increase the chance of heart attack or stroke, which can lead to death. This chance increases if you have heart disease or risk factors for it, such as high blood pressure or when NSAIDs are taken for long periods. All prescription NSAIDs, including Celebrex, also increase the chance of serious skin reactions or stomach and intestine problems, such as bleeding and ulcers, which can occur without warning and may cause death.
Patients also taking aspirin and the elderly are at increased risk for stomach bleeding and ulcers. Do not take Celebrex if you're allergic to aspirin or sulfonamides. Ask your doctor if you could benefit from Celebrex. Understand the risks, feel the benefits.
Rebuilding America's economy will take energy from all sources. And here's some good news. Increased production of domestic oil and natural gas will also create well-paying jobs, drive our 21st century economy, and generate more than $1 trillion for federal, state, and local budgets. Money for better schools, public safety, and community needs. Maybe that's why most people support putting more of America's oil and natural gas to work. For Americans. Log on to learn more.
In our closer look tonight, tracking serial killers who use the highways to stalk their victims and hide their crimes. The FBI noticed this pattern, and agents are now connecting the dots to try to catch these killers. Here's ABC's Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Just after 2 a.m., July 29, 2007, police receive a frantic 911 call from this trailer.
Oh, he's trying to break in. Oh, my God. Somebody's trying to break in. Okay.
The killer vanishes before police arrive, only to reappear at this home 90 minutes later. He attacks a 15-year-old girl. She survives only because her parents rush in to save her after hearing her cries.
What does he look like?
I have no idea. He has a mask on.
I need you to stay on the line with me. He has a mask on.
He came into my room and held. He put his hand over my mouth.
Okay.
And then held a knife to my throat.
Okay.
And told me if I screamed, okay.
All right.
When police pull off the mask, they find Adam Leroy Lane, a trucker from North Carolina. He is armed with 2 large knives, choking wire, and a ninja throwing star. He also has a leather mask with the mouth and eyes cut out. And when police find his rig at a nearby truck stop, they discover evidence of a chilling motive.
He had several DVDs. One of them was actually inside of his DVD player, which was entitled Hunting Humans.
Shaken, the police decide to contact the FBI. It turns out the FBI has been tracking murders committed along the nation's highways in a new program, the Highway Serial Killers Initiative. The FBI believes there have been at least 500 such murders over the last 30 years, and the Bureau worries there are many more cases out there.
And it seems to me that sometimes the suspects are using the distance as a smokescreen to cover their trail.
When they're dumping a body and being able to be 2 or 3 states away, it gives them, I imagine, a comfort or a feeling of security in the fact that it'll be difficult to identify them.
Roughly 200 suspects have been identified, the overwhelming majority truckers. Truckers like Adam Leroy Lane. Pierre Thomas, ABC News.
The FBI has traced Lane's rampage backwards in time from the attack in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, to New Jersey, where Lane confessed to stabbing a woman to death in her bedroom, to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where he's charged with murdering another woman on her patio. The FBI says at least 10 suspects responsible for some 30 murders have now been taken into custody, thanks to the Serial Killers Initiative. And coming up on the broadcast, in this age of space-age travel, an old-fashioned and some might say crazy way to fly. This guy does it all the time.
This is a Centrum multivitamin, complete from A to zinc. This is CoraWise, a natural ingredient that can lower cholesterol. Put them together, and you get Centrum Cardio, the first and only complete multivitamin that can lower cholesterol. Centrum Cardio.
I'm going to do another one of my sleep studies. Advil PM or Tylenol PM. With Advil PM, she's spending less time lying awake with aches and pains and more time asleep. You should switch to Advil PM, the better night's sleep.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. A lost child, a Brickhouse child locator. And the only battery Brickhouse trusts is Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Red Lobster is bringing you new entrees inspired by the Mediterranean. From the wood grilled, try lobster and jumbo shrimp with a garlic cream sauce. Or wood grilled shrimp and scallops. Ending soon at Red Lobster.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500, and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
For a limited time, get your Double My Bucks certificate at CVS Pharmacy or at CVS.com so you can earn double extra bucks every time you purchase a prescription.
Hi.
CVS Pharmacy pays you back. And these days, everybody could use a few extra bucks.
There you go.
Thanks.
Hey, honey, did you know that they...
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
ABC Tonight, a season that celebrates heroes, saves our biggest for last.
I love all of y'all!
ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition 2-hour finale event tonight, 7/6 Central on ABC.
It sounds so outrageous. Ultimate Fighting Clubs in high school?
This is a blood choke.
It's violent, ferocious. No parent or teacher would ever allow this, right? Well, get ready for the ultimate surprise on World News with Charles Gibson, Monday.
Thrill-seeking takes a lot of forms. Skydiving, whitewater rafting, race car driving. Tonight, we have the story of a thrill-seeker fulfilling the dream of flight in a very simple, almost childlike way. From the ESPN program E60, here's Jeremy Schaap.
Every child with a helium balloon thinks about it. But John Nina Mia grew up and actually did it.
It takes 15 to 20 people about 2 hours to get the whole thing put together, and about 8,000 cubic feet of helium.
It's called cluster ballooning, and only a handful of people in the world do it.
After you have the balloon all set up, you're ready to launch. You just let go and you can float out of there. Typically, I'm flying with 70 to 80 balloon cluster. People are really totally amazed by it, either because they think it is pretty to look at or because they think I am really stupid to do it. The sensation of flying in this really somewhat outlandish, incredibly delicate sort of thing it's really a beautiful experience.
And different from any other kind of flying.
In a hot air balloon, the burners are very loud when you're actually using them, but with the helium balloons, it's totally silent. It's really wonderful.
Cluster ballooning was conceived in 1982 when a man named Larry Walters tied 42 weather balloons to his lawn chair. He only expected to rise a few hundred feet, but instead climbed to 16,000. Amazingly, he survived.
Flying low really is kind of the most fun because then you can wave to people and shout a few words back and forth.
To ascend, he drops ballast. To descend, he pops or releases balloons.
I'm cutting away a balloon now, which is how I control my rate of ascent or descent.
But there's no way to steer, so he always has a chase vehicle following him.
What are my options as far as landings?
Nina Mia hopes cluster ballooning may one day be considered a sport. For now, he says, it's pretty much a personal eccentricity. For ABC News, Jeremy Schaap, E60 on ESPN.
And that is going to do it for World News on this Sunday. I'm Dan Harris. For all of us here at ABC News, thank you for watching and good night.
Tonight,
you're getting married this weekend.
The 2-hour season finale event.
You would actually send your wife to prison?
And one final revelation.
I didn't want to kill. I had to.
Desperate Housewives 2-hour season finale. Tonight, 9/8 Central on ABC.
With 2 injuries on Mount Hood this weekend alone, rescuers are saying now is not the time and these are not the conditions to go scaling the mountain.
Consider them the little luxuries.
I think that we buy things that are a little bit more comforting.
The items that still stay hot in a recession. What caused an explosion and this massive plume of smoke and fire in Beaverton, triggering widespread power outages?
From K2 News, this is a breaking news alert.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anna Song. We do begin with breaking news. 16,000 people in the Beaverton-Tigard area without power still after an explosion at a PGE substation. K2's Megan Cockstein is live in the Murray Hill area of Beaverton tonight. And Megan, how's the situation looking now?
Well, Anna, it's an incredibly different situation out here than it was.
1-800-717-1022.